Hello and welcome to my stream today, where I am going to continue exactly where we left off yesterday, which is just finishing up the last bit of the event of Go Frontline. Where... that's the right button. For a moment there, I didn't remember what button I had to press. I also need to wait for my model to load for whatever reason. There we go. I don't know why that didn't load earlier. But yeah. I have finished all the combat according to some people yesterday. I don't know how many maps there are left in terms of lore, but I'm just gonna do the rest of the event today, and once I'm done, continue with the normal story. So yeah. Now, let me just jump right in. Chapter 3. We have SSEO21, Eastern Tower Level 2, East. After climbing up the eastern stairs, they see an area of neatly laid out modular rooms, like a factory. What is this place? According to our map and known intel, this is a Paradea's training facility. Alchemist uses one of her hand blades to push open a half-closed door to a nearby room, revealing that the machines and devices within have not been disturbed. Looks like they aren't important. Paradeas couldn't even be bothered to destroy them. They left so much stuff behind. Hi, Dark Caves. Judge, where should we start looking? Click the magnifying glass and perform... Okay, yeah. Alright. Door. Judge pushes the door open and enters an empty training room. So this is where Paradeus trains, then. Seems normal enough. Alchemist messes around with some parameter adjustment on one of the consoles, and Judge glances away. If you tried it out, you'd know it's anything but normal. Huh? Why? Given your IQ, you're better off experiencing it for yourself. Dreamer shoves Destroyer into a training room for improving attack speed. As the equipment starts up, Destroyer picks up the provided weapon in confusion and prepares to take down the targets that will appear. The target zips past Destroyer at lightning speed. What the hell are you messing with me? Frustrated, Destroyer swings a weapon around, but the target seems to have a mind of their own and nimbly evades her. Soon, the training time limit expires, and Destroyer leaves the room, panting heavily. Hiya, Terry. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well. You got a C, the worst possible grade. Did you crank up the difficulty to the max? Were you screwing with me? Nope, also lowest setting. Andrews can get exhausted in this, yes. Imagine the battery runs low, or something, I don't know. There was an explanation for it at some point, but I don't remember it at this current point in time. It's true, I can vouch for it. Rejoice, if you'd been unlucky enough to be produced in a Paradeus plant, you wouldn't have survived until now. No wonder this dress god's also agile. Anyone who can pass such a difficult test is bound to be a decent fighter. Dreamer, make a copy of the data from the equipment. Wait, do you mean... It might be helpful to the commander. If you applied such rigorous and comprehensive testing standards to a base, you'd weed out all the dunces in short order. Alright. As Destroyer watches nervously, Dreamer begins downloading all the training data from the Paradeus machines. There. Whatever that is. Judge eyes a strange protrusion on the wall and then flings it open. You want to see G11 too? Yeah, it's just... I want to sleep! Lies on the floor. A small window appears before her. You can clearly see the entire training room through it. Did they use this window to observe the trainees? Yes, no other switches here. Alchemist enters the room and finds the observation window's location on the other side of the wall. Scowling at confusion, she returns to the corridor and studies the window again up close. It's one-way glass. There's no way to tell if the window even exists from the outside. Why'd go to all this trouble? Why don't you just install a camera and be done with it? Installing a camera means that the subject and the observer have both complicitly accepted that someone is going to be monitored. But one-way glass like this implies that the observer has absolutely control of the situation and the subject has no choice but to obey. All they can do is train under constant fear without slacking off for a single moment. After all, you never know when a pair of eyes will be watching you through that window. Destroy shutters. That's enough. Let's go, Judge. Yes, there's nothing else of value here. And last one. Up the stairs, or is that the forklift on there? Nope, staircase railings. You like these designs, big guns? Welcome to SF. What's the heck, Kaz? How are you doing? Judge studies the handrails running along the side of the staircase. A trail of dried bloodstains leads to one of the training rooms. After noticing what Judge is looking, Alchemist silently heads toward the room. She tries to open the door, but it bumps into something behind it and does not move. Judge signals to her, indicating that there's an enemy behind it. Destroyer gets ready to cover her. With everything ready, Alchemist raises her hand blades high. And the sound of feeble sobbing comes from behind the door. Please don't hit me anymore. I'm really tired. Please let me off, big sister. Just let me rest for 5 minutes. No, 3 minutes is fine. After getting the go-ahead from Judge, Alchemist effortlessly rips the door off its hinges and tosses it aside, revealing the battered and mangled Knighter behind it. As FE-56 suddenly appears before her, the Black Knighter tries to flash them an ingratiating smile to mask her sheer terror. I know I didn't meet the standards for the previous test. I'm sorry, big sister. I'll go train right now. Please give me another chance. The Black Knighter tries to crawl toward the testing equipment, but her ruined body won't let her stand, and all she can do is writhe on the spot. Stop. Why, big sister? I was really trying to... Alchemist brings her blade down and puts a swift end to the Black Knight's suffering. Rest in peace. Let's go. Well. I don't really know what to say to that. Honestly. But yeah, some of the designs of the SF units are actually really cool. There are some that are... But, yeah. Level 3, West. As they climb the western stairs, a densely packed area of wall-mounted pods that resemble a columbarium appears before them. Is this a storage area? Please don't tell me there are Knights lying in there. The map says this is a western training area. It seems to be focused on electronic warfare and honing intellect. A training area? What can you even train by lying in these pods? There's only one way to find out. Click them. Okay. Yeah. Door. Destroyer carefully opens a door. When she looks inside, the room appears to be as narrow as a coffin, to the point where the occupant wouldn't have any space to move once they lie down inside. What's this? Want to have a light on in here? Hell no. I still don't understand what the purpose of this place is. I've no idea what they could train here. I've heard that Knights have memories from when they were human. I bet retaining their humanity would make it hard to do their job. So they have come here regularly to get brainwashed and their memories erased. It's just a guess. We'll have to bring the information from this place back for analysis. But isn't that the perfect control measure? On the surface, it's training you to strengthen you, but it's actually just a means to strengthen the hold on you. All your resistance and rebellion can be chalked up to a single word: failure. Let's not waste any more time on this place. We still have many other areas to search. She does have a point, though. Again, a thingy. She approaches the wall ahead of her and idly opens one of the pod hatches, then takes a look at the device parameters within. Anything here worth copying? I don't think so. The process is grueling enough that it would drive 99 out of 100 subjects insane. The one who remained would be a perfect killing machine. Isn't this supposed to be a training room? It's ruthless and cruel, very much in keeping with Paradise's style, don't you think? It's nothing more than abattoir. Oh yes, in fact I think Atlantis was built entirely on foundation of mass slaughter and sacrifice. Let's go. Better not loiter here. Okay, and the stairs up again. Archimedes notices that one of the training pods is different from the others. It's nearly twice as wide. She opens the hatch and it seems even deeper inside than the others. This pod... It doesn't look like it was made for an ordinary Naito. Given their size, you could fit 2 or 3 of them in here. Was it meant for those gigantic fully mechanized guys? Those don't even have brains. There's no need to train their intelligence. I'm not sure who it was made for, but let's bring back the data stored in this place. Alright. This music is still... chilling. While Dreamer's busy copying the data, Destroyer decides to poke her head inside and take a look around. Ah! What's wrong? Destroyer exclaims a fright before jumping back. Alchemist moves up to take a closer look. The inside of the pod is covered in dark brown scratches and stains. The scratches appear to have been made by human hands. They used to be. They're not anymore. The word has been repeatedly carved in a corner and then crossed out. Anna. Who was being held here? What? I guess the person here was desperately trying to remember that name. Agnes looks like one bad condom from snapping. Nah, Dreamer's the one that is usually the least you want to fuck with. Not because they're particularly strong, the strongest there is actually Judge, but because she's the one that has sent her friend to death multiple times, and then just revives her without the memory of that. But they were all crossed out. I guess I didn't manage to remember it after all. Yeah, there's nothing else left here. Is this the... This must have been the place where Angie's brother was held, right? But at the same time, the entire thing with Angie's brother happened years ago. He's been dead for fucking ever. Let's go look elsewhere. For context, Anna is the original name, Anna Viktorovna Tsoi of Angie. The character that this entire event revolves around. Also the character that is here in different ages, just running around. As a child, as a soldier, as a PMC, and as a standalone, do whatever the fuck I want. The Beasting System. Team FE56 has reached level 30 of the Eastern Tower. The stairs from this point have been destroyed. The only way for us to go is the highest via elevator. Hi, Johnny. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a good one. We need to access to use the elevators. Searching for a solution. I've hacked into the repair systems. The elevator should be up and running again. Apparently Johnny appeared. Yes. Yes, they have. Okay, next up should be the data core for Vernus. Everyone stay alert. And only now my stream elements are smart enough to realize that I've been streaming for 20 minutes. Close enough. Everyone stay alert, clear the area and take care to preserve the data. We can conduct our search from 3 levels. The monitoring room on level 32, the data center on 37, and the office area on level 40. Time is tight, so I'll explain the rest to you on the move. Let's get this done quickly. Will do. Carry on. Okay. Level 32. As the elevator door opens, the members of Team FE56 find themselves on level 32. The room before them is a mess. An intense battle has left many computers and monitors strewn all over the place, along with a huge pile of Nito corpses. Among them is a dead white knight who seems to have put up a valiant resistance, but she received a bullet through her chest for her troubles. Said bullet also penetrated the mainframe behind her. This should be the monitoring room. Not everything here has been taken away. In addition to the computers, there are some paper documents left. The server's been wiped clean, but I can try to restore part of the data. Don't let anything go. Search the entire place thoroughly. Search the room. Apart from the computers and servers here, there are also many documents left behind. Most of the filing boxes used to store them were destroyed in the previous skirmish, and there's no way to accurately match it up to the scattered documents on the ground without more time. The filing cabinets have various labels on them. One of them is labeled NUSSR. The files inside of it are sorted in categories in NUSSRA, NUSSRB, and NUSSRC. These are different levels of intelligence gradings. The other labels appear to be similar forms of classification. Dreamer picks up a dossier that seems complete and carefully leaves through it. Data file, that. Subject, leadership figures of NUSSR and NC. The NUSSR committee, working alongside Blank, as well as Blank from the USA, will be providing suggestions and guidance on the formation of the Blank-Fist Union. Furthermore, although the file was not too severely damaged, its contents are still incomprehensible. Most of the text has been redacted, and the remainder is largely unintelligible symbols. The computers are still operational, though some of the data are irreparably damaged. Servers show the signs of having been hacked. The data are probably lost for good. Can you reconstruct the rest? Of course. Mainframe A. Loading data, failed to load. Loading research logs, failed to load. Querying experiment records, records have been deleted. Querying experimental records, records have been deleted. Querying experiment records, records have been deleted. Restoring data, data restored. Loading. Data file, PAC numbers. Subjects, Heather. Loading video file. Now playing. Dr. Jennikov! Dr. Jennikov! A young nurse runs toward the camera. I found you at last, Dr. Jennikov. The patient in 206 needs defibrillament. And the chief physician asked me to get you. Alright. I'm busy here, so I'll head over when I'm done. Please hurry. The nurse in the picture nods and runs off. Meanwhile, the expressionless doctor cracks open a tightly sealed door. Instead, inside a white knight, he pulls out her scythe from where she has driven it through the doctor's heart and looks into the camera. Mission report. We have successfully infiltrated the facility. Target is located in room 242, block 12, Moscow City Hospital number 31. Operation is scheduled to begin at 10 AM. The camera shifts up and down as if it's doing an odd. Then the door closes. After that, it travels down the corridor and comes to a stop outside a ward. There's a light knock on the door, but the hand is not captured in frame. Please come in. Oh, you better not. Leave her alone, you motherfucker. The video ends. Subject, I don't even know how to read that. Loading video file. Now playing. The shaky camera is blocked by a pair of hands. Then the person in front of the camera backs up and their face resolves into view. She carefully checks the camera, and after ensuring that it's recording, she pulls up a chair and sits down in the center of the frame. This is Shadowless. I will now begin my report. Shadowless seems a little nervous. She runs her hand through her hair. The situation in the TV station is completely under our control. I am confident that more than half of our broadcasts will be fully vetted before going out. All potentially disadvantageous information or selected pieces of news will not be aired. Also, I've established a private channel, which has reached the expected viewership numbers. All avenues for voicing opinion are under our control. Now, about the previous murder. What the... Public opinion surrounding Dr. Alicia's death is being censored. The public will not know that the role Galatea played in this incident. Hair fishy? God damn it. My private radio station has achieved a solid listener base. Information which cannot be distributed through official channels can be personally... Report ends. So she also is... Have a good night, Bakasura. I'm at least guessing that you're going to go to bed. Restore data on mainframe B. Loading data failed to load. Yep. Deleted. Data restored. Loading. Now playing... What are we playing? Well, the other option would be coffee, and that would be a very bad idea to do at the bedtime. Yeah, usually. Huh. Not to mention you hate coffee. Mordo, I once told you I needed a proper moment. This is the moment where M4 disappeared, by the way. And genuinely, I have no idea where she went. She's just... Either that or I forgot. Mordo, I once told you needed proper moments. I believe this is it. We can have a proper talk now. Are you for real? No wonder you wanted to get that doll out of the way. I'm sure she'd be very disappointed if she knew that what you had in mind, right? They'll understand my intentions. How far are you willing to go for your ideals? What do you want? I need to get back to Avernus. If that's your wish, I can fulfill it. I see. You must help them, just like you help yourself. Son of a bitch. This video is from when Warner was taken captive. I think it was Miss Dandelion talking to her. Is there anything about that bothers you? Restoring that video was very difficult. It also seems like someone else tried to do it before us. This was extracted from a virtual cognition image. It's been accessed many, many times to a startling degree. However, we haven't been able to identify the person who queried it. I guess this is as much as we can find. Let's move on and check another place. Alright. Yeah. Genuinely wondering, why would M4 agree to that? What is it that she wants? I have no idea what you mean. Genuinely? What do you mean triangle-shaped body? What? Eastern Tower level 37. Let's go. That's a meeting hall of some sort. After the elevator doors slide open, shaped like a triangle. God damn it. God damn it. After the elevator doors slide open, the members of Team FE56 enter level 37. The room before them is spacious, but there's almost no place for them to put their feet on account of the thick layer of mechanical junk that covers the floor. The tangled wires and cables resemble nothing so much as an insect hive filled with eggs. The fighting has not reached this place yet, but the people stationed here have already fled. The huge database here has been completely deleted, but Dreamer's efforts have managed to recover part of it, albeit in jumbled order. You'll need to pay attention to the contents while checking them. Okay, first of all, the chairs, I guess. What do you see? A spider. Inside the frigid factory, countless nighters with identical body types and faces are gathered together. They look at each other amidst the oppressive atmosphere, hostility burning in their eyes. Then, a single crisp and clear note rings out over the speakers. In an instant, they pounce each other like cannibalistic rats, ripping each other apart, until only one is left standing in the end. You have proven yourself. Now, as long as your gene density meets the standards, you will be allowed to live. Yes, Father. I am ready. Draw your blood and place it into the analyzer. Understood. Your pack. Margot places the syringe on the table as she meets the concerned gaze of the girl before her. She pauses for a moment, then she flashes a bright smile. Thank you, big sister. I won't need to take part in testing anymore. Father's acknowledged me. Holding her own shoulder, Maclean looks at her little sister and smiles back at her warmly. Okay, then that up here, whatever that means. What do you see? A scorpion. A massive stinger tail stabs the Strela through the chest, then hoists it high into the air before casually tossing it aside. Looks like this is your limit, Grey. There's just no way for you to match up to Narcissus. Please don't compare me to that mad dog. My talents don't lie in this field. I'm a bureaucrat. You shouldn't be doing a perfect impersonation. Rather, you must believe in yourself, believe that you are Grey. I don't understand, teacher. Is there any other Grey besides myself? Very good. Galatea, here I come. Hi, Menachate. How are you doing? And we have the one over here. The big screen. What do you see? A praying mantis. That could be either Narcissus or... I forgot her name. The one with the sword. No matter how many times you ask, my answer will always be the same. I will never join Galatea, and neither will I serve you. Everything I have done is for the sake of humanity as a whole. It is not to serve or protect anyone's person's selfish interest. That's the original Grey right there. Addressing you by serial number is too troublesome. I'll call you Grig. You don't mind, do you? Okay, it was Grig. Grig? Grig. I don't mind. Alright, I am Grig. The saber hums, and all the targets on the training range are slashed to bits in an instant. Who would have thought that giving trash to another piece of trash would produce something of value? The saber's now yours. Thank you, Father. I will make myself useful for Paradeus and Grey. That's all the data we can recover at the moment. We'll just have to bring back the rest. Dreamer? Judge is halfway through giving the order when she looks back and finds Dreamer spacing out. Dreamer feels as if her consciousness was plunged into the depths of a lake, surrounded by darkness that is utterly still and silent. As she sinks deeper into the depths of this quiescent electronic ocean had to send birth ripples that disturbed the deathly stillness. Who's there? Darkness. Her mind is adrift. She's unable to even tell up from down or left from right. Even her own sense of existence has become hazy and ephemeral. I've been hacked. Dreamer denies the first notion that comes to mind, because this is not an active electronic warfare attack. More like she's been instinctively pulled into the silent domain. Just as Dreamer tries to find an exit, she suddenly realizes that something seems to be holding her in place. Did someone come? Did they come in the end? The tide has rolled out. The only ones who can enter this place are the same poor souls like ourselves. Wait, what is this? Dreamer instinctively struggles to shake off the hand that has grabbed her. However, there's nothing there. You're so cold, so afraid, aren't you? That's okay. Now that you're here, nobody will ever hurt you again. You're in pain. We can hear your voice. You don't have to worry anymore. There's no need to worry anymore. Now you can return to us. Stop. What? She does not feel pain. These voices sound lost and confused. They don't sound malevolent at all. The inconstant chaotic data wash over her like a tide, almost scattering her. She tries to find the source of the voices, and a frail yet determined voice speaks out. Stop deluding yourselves. The tide has gone out. This place will not last for long. That voice seems to have seized the weakness of the other voices, because they suddenly disperse, leaving only fading echoes behind. As long as we can be together forever. We will not disappear. Nobody will disappear. We shall be together in neither heaven nor hell, and neither cursed nor redeemed. I did not die, nor yet remained alive. Well, I know what that was a reference to. And funnily enough, that is the event that we were playing through before this one went live. Those are the Nitos in the locked-off city of Vladivostok. Actually, no, that's the wrong city. I'm stupid. Oh, well. Yeah. Dreamer! Huh? Dreamer suddenly snaps back to consciousness, reflexively smashing a table beside her. What happened to you? Dreamer still looks apprehensive. Even her breathing sounds a little ragged. I heard the voices of over 1,000 units, but there was no visual input. What did you say? Were you hacked? Are the enemies nearby? No. Dreamer shakes her head. Not enemies, just a bunch of poor souls. Yeah. Yeah. Eastern Tower, level 40. As the elevator doors open, the member of FE56 level enter level 40. Unlike the other rooms, this appears to be somebody's private quarters. The room is very well concealed. It almost escapes Team C's notice despite a very close search. Sorry. The room's layout is even more bizarre with its cozy decor that seems incredibly out of place in this gigantic dark tower. In addition to that, a small statuette here seems to have been used for prayer. After a brief check, they can be sure that this room belongs to a high-ranking Naito. Okay. First of all, painting, question mark? Oh. I guess it's data. Oh, I see. I understand whose room this is. The screen flashes and flickers for a while before finally resolving into a video recording of people eating. It does not seem to have been taken in this room, but in a more luxurious location. On the other end of a long dining table is a distinguished-looking man who is slicing up the beef on his plate. I have never liked any of England's contributions to gourmet cuisine. But at the very least, they can produce a decent steak. Our plan has already reached the implementation stage. But we still need your instructions before we can proceed. The man puts down his cutlery, then he picks up his napkin and dabs at the sauce on the corner of his mouth. Do not speak of topics that ruin the taste of food during mealtime. I sincerely apologize. Nemron rises and bows her head to convey a contrition. Sit. Yes, father. The man pushes back his chair and rises from his seat. I have to meet the general in the afternoon. Leave any reports you have to make till afterwards. Understood, Father. For the Oberstein? What? Really? What? Now that is a bit of a important drop right there. Galatea's recruitment program is proceeding at pace under Father's leadership. We have attracted experts in various fields from around the world and built an excellent talent pool. The names topping the list have essentially all been successfully inducted, and while a small handful have been specially processed by our secret department. Among them, Grey Blackwell has rejected multiple persuasion attempts and founded her own biology lab in Berlin instead. I recommend switching to Plan B and dealing with her before her influence grows any further. Message received, permission denied. The matter of Grey Blackwell is to be set aside for the moment until further instructions are given. Okay. They find scattered notes in the room. The notes are not labeled, but from their age and handwriting, they seem to be records of a very old experiment. Severe dystrophy has occurred in the muscle tissue. The instruments can no longer sustain life. The subject must be entered into experimental process ASAP. Severe rejection has occurred. Mass necrosis of arm, thigh, and abdominal structures have been observed. Biopsy results indicate that the neuronal knots are having the desired effect at the indicated locations. This might cause some pain, but it indirectly proves that the approach was correct. Condition is gradually stabilizing. The 144th clone has shown a complete new appearance. That being the case, we can begin procedure number 372 on her this afternoon. There's a burned photograph among the notes. The picture depicts a woman standing with a girl. The one somewhat resembles Nemron, while the young girl's face has been scorched black and is unrecognizable. What? As Team FE-56 searches the room, an explosion suddenly erupts inside the private quarters. The items and data which have yet to be investigated are consumed by flames as the entire room also starts collapsing. I knew this wouldn't be that simple. This entire damn room is a trap. The explosion brings down the walls and ceiling, and after several more blasts, the room is reduced to rubble. The chaos lasts for half a minute before everything slowly dies down. Status report. We reacted in time. Nobody was hurt. Look over there. There's a passage over there. The collapse of the room reveals a passage leading to the link bridge. The Bridge of Judgment leading to the Western Tower was severed by heavy firepower. What remains of the eastern end of the bridge is covered with bullet holes and scorch marks left by the miniature explosives. It is upon this naked metal and exposed structural framework that Destroyer notices certain familiar components. It is the ruined torso of a doll. Its bionic skin and muscle fibers have been completely destroyed, exposing its melted and ruined metal components. The shreds of her clothing and the remains of a weapon provides a vague clue of her identity. Hopefully our core is still functional. That should be part of our assault team. Theoretically. What's the reward for that? Relic experiment area. Begin recording. Team FE-56C has reached the level 56 of the eastern tower of Avernus. Give me a camera. This place is too big and I can't even see the end of the corridor. Staying together would be too inefficient. I want one too. We'll split them into 3 groups. Alright, we need to move for the higher floors ASAP, so this works for me. That said, make sure you stay safe. We haven't verified this floor is entirely clear of enemy signal contacts. Remember to check in regularly. Relax, it'll be fine. Control center. Since we're splitting up, I'll go check out the eastern end of the corridor with the destroyer. I'll protect you. Simulation area? I'll stick to the plan and head to the western end. We don't know what's over there. I'll contact you if I run into anything. According to Daybreak, there seems to be a lot of still functional simulation spaces here. At the protection lab area. Understood. Try to stay out of trouble. So you guys are heading out east, you're heading out west. I'll just double back then. I saw a standalone elevator back there. There ought to be a second level to this place. We have no idea what's up there. None of the circuits are hacked and led upstairs. Be careful. Don't worry, I'll think on my feet. Oh, I see, that's that map. Okay. First of all, the control center. As she heads toward the eastern end of the corridor, Dreamer walks in through the site of a gruesome battle and enters a room where the signs of fighting are the most intense. The knights that lie fallen at the entrance clearly took a massive casualties to defend this place, but the attackers ultimately overcame them. The door has been physically broken down, and the interior of the room is also a scene of devastation. Looks like they really tore this place apart, but we still have a job to do. Destroyer, watch the door for me. Keep an eye on for any survivors trying to ambush us. Okay, will do. Let's just start with the computer, and then the next computer, and then the next computer. This is the signal tower used by Paradise to establish comms in the Black Zone. At the moment, it's broadcasting an intermittent signal. The signal is still working, but there's a new device mounted on it that stands out greatly. Said device is interfering with all the signals that are sent and received by the tower. You now know why this place was in chaos. This jammer is from the Neo-Soviet Union. It's military gear. It smells very much of state-sec. Why didn't they just blow it up? The signal tower is just one part of the network. Simply blowing it up would be pointless. All they could do was use it as an entry point to eavesdrop on and disrupt the network. Just leave it be. The mess on the control terminals is much worse than the other locations. The blast from a demolition charge did terrible damage to this place, and the carbonite stains from the high temperatures are scattered in all directions for several meters like an exploded flower. Amidst the wreckage of the remains of an explosive round, whose original appearance can just about be made out. Why'd they use so much firepower on this place? That's because this is where the controls for the force field on the rooftop were. Anyone who wanted to break into the eastern tower would have to destroy this place. So Tarak did it. No. Dreamer picks up the fragments of the explosive rounds and rubs away some of the black scorch marks on it. This was from the Stasi. Someone was here before us. Okay. At the end of the control room are numerous smashed monitor screens. Unlike the bee sting system, these were used to keep an eye on the interior of Avernus. After restoring the data, Dreamer discovers that their purpose was to observe and broadcast into several into the experimental areas. Also, there are some video files still on the system, most of which concern the selection of low-spec niters and experiment records. Among them, one particular file has obviously been accessed a lot more frequently than others. Experimental batch, something, low-grade material interaction test. Test subject number 10876 is exhibiting abnormal behaviors. Offensive data sampling failed. Defensive data sampling failed. Test subject has refused to attack the target. Active eventual broadcast. Test successful. Fucking hell. Dreamer records the remaining data, then gives it a final once-over to make sure there are no more clues left in the area. Let's go destroy. I don't think there's anything else left here. Wait, Dreamer. The cameras are still running. I can only monitor the situation in this region. We need to move higher. Dreamer seems to be singularly unconcerned with Destroyer's point as she turns to leave. However, a scene on the monitor, on one of the monitor's screens draws her attention. Is that Alchemist? What is she doing there? I don't know. Part 2. Visual simulation area. Judge heads westward to down the austere corridor, each step a cautious advance. The corridor before her extends so far ahead that she can't see its end, nor can she see any sense of battle damage. Eventually, she reaches an open area where she sees several rooms with doors that are wide open. Resume recording. I found several simulation chambers that are still functional. I'll be entering them to investigate now. She isn't picking up any hostile signals, so at the very least she can be sure that there are no enemies here. For that reason, it's even more imperative that she understands what kind of secrets these still-running simulators are hiding. The cold room. Wisps of cold air seep out as Judge enters the room as she takes in the scene. The inside of the room is something like a cold storage locker. A woman wearing a thick and heavy-looking outfit is standing over an operating table in the middle of the room, hard at work. Although the temperature inside the room is very realistic, Judge is fully aware that this is merely a virtual projected image. Just as Judge is moving in to take a closer look, she is startled by the sound of someone kicking in the door behind her. Immediately after that, two humans pass through the door and approach the woman in front of her. The woman performing the operation turns around, but her face is obscured by static and jumbled pixels, making her look like a movie monster. We received an internal report about this and have verified its authenticity. Dr. Blank, you are charged with using experimental relic data from a secret project without permission and committing several severe violations of academic ethics and integrity. Do you have anything to say in your defense? You're nothing but short-sighted fools. There's no way to advance our research through conventional means. You morons living in a bubble of bureaucracy have no idea what real science is. You've been involved in its research for many years and even helped draft the Code of Ethics. Actively breaking it is utterly deplorable. Though many people have pleaded on your behalf, we must close down your lab and revoke all privileges that you enjoy. Blank, you are fired. The lights in the room suddenly go out. When they come back on again, everyone and everything has vanished without a trace. Judge turns around. The door is still there. However, it is no longer aglow with electronic activity. Once the system detected Judge's presence, it automatically wiped all the data stored in the room. The dark room. Only when Judge enters the dark room does she realize that it isn't truly dark. The interior is actually a fancy executive lounge, and when Judge looks back, she sees that the door through which she came entered has become a corridor. The milling crowd around Judge pass through her body and vanish once they reach the other side of the room. Meanwhile, Judge's attention is focused on the center of the room, on the person who is clearly the protagonist of this simulation. The melting ice cubes inside the glass bounce off the interior with a crisp sound. A woman sits alone in the center of the room, her face obscured by jumbled pixels and static, making her completely unidentifiable. Then, a gentleman approaches her. Good evening, Dr. Blank. And you are? I noticed your glass was empty. I figured this could be an opportunity to make friends with you. I don't need friends. But you need a drink, I believe. Whew. The glass was touched and the scene dissolves once again. The simulation chamber has been forcibly shut down, and the room is devoid of everything in about 2 seconds. After a quick check, Judge is certain that all data here has been deleted, without a single trace left behind. Okay, now the warm room. See what that does. I'm pretty sure we're seeing the story of Miner, by the way. The cramped confines of the warm room make Judge think that she has gone through the wrong door for a moment. Before her eyes is a tiny apartment. Judge reaches out to touch the wall beside her, but her hand goes clean through it. The apartment windows are covered by curtains, and it seems to be night outside, because the interior is very dark. On the far side of the room is a large screen, and there's a set of active earphones on the empty seat before it. The screen shows an airport where a woman whose face is obscured by static and jumbled pixels is disembarking from a plane. A familiar man waits on the tarmac below to receive her. The two of them shake hands. Then Judge hears a middle-aged man's voice through the earphones. I knew we'd meet again. I will work with you, half on overtime. The man pulls his hand back and nods before glancing at the other side of the plane, where several workers are carefully unloading cold storage case. You're most welcome, Dr. Blank. I mean, that has to be Meitner. The judge exits the room. All three of them are self-purged. All three of them self-purged their data after she entered, leaving nothing behind. She can't help but feel unnerved by this creepy situation, but at the very least, she has recorded everything she saw so she can analyze it at leisure. Just as Judge is about to leave, the ceiling overhead suddenly explodes, raining chunks of debris all over, while a dark figure falls out of thin air. Judge raises a weapon and prepares to counterattack, but just as the dust clears, the figure within the cloud of dust takes her by surprise. Alchemist? I managed to get out then. Okay. What the hell? Alchemist goes down a different route from her friends and boards a standalone elevator. After exiting the elevator, Alchemist finds herself one level above, but everything before her eyes is pitch black. Upon realizing something is wrong, Alchemist immediately turns to leave, but after taking a few steps, she realizes that she can't feel the elevator she took up here. Well, this is annoying. The communicator doesn't seem to be working, so all she can do is feel around her for a way out. Sound of blowing winds. Way. Reduced to groping around blindly in the darkness, Alchemist decides to trust in a sense of hearing. She slowly heads towards the sound of howling winds, when all of a sudden a brilliant light banishes the darkness before her eyes. In the very next moments, Alchemist finds herself standing under the night sky. This is an airfield at night. A strong cold wind buffets her body, before there's a plane that is about to take off. A clamorous noise comes from behind her. She turns around and sees a group of humans coming away. How will the government deal with the contamination from this explosion? Why is the spread of the affected area not been curtailed? Could you please tell us what the actual conditions are like? How many casualties are there? Could you answer us? Mr. Minister, please answer us. The search and rescue teams are doing their best to rescue victims, and the purification is under the way. Then could you please tell us why you chose this moment to leave? According to the Inside Scoop, most of the wealthy residents in the city have packed up and left. Is this related to the government's inability to manage the spread of the contamination? I am leaving on official business. Please do not make false allegations. A government official is attempting to fight his way through the throng of pressmen towards a private plane. Tensions are high and tempers are heated, judging by the exchange of words and the jostling bodies. A moment, please, Mr. Minister. Please answer this question. Were the funds earmarked by the government for purification purposes used on actual anti-contamination policies? Minister! In the end, the official gets on the plane under cover of his bodyguards. Exasperated, the media begins shouting abuse at him. Just as he's about to leave, a massive explosion blows the plane to bits right as its engine starts up. The shockwave sends the crowd around it sprawling to underground. Merrily burning flames rip through the night in a terrifying scene. A troop of parallel soldiers suddenly appears. Alchemist reflexively raises the weapons, but then she hears the screams from behind her. A hail of bullets massacre all the bodyguards and journalists present. They whisk to Alchemist's body, but do her no harm. After ensuring that there are no survivors, the White Faction troopers surround the area. Then the official, who was apparently killed in the explosion, emerges from among them. He clears his throat and then... It was just a small accident. Please keep calm, everyone. The situation is under control. We will devote all of our efforts to protecting the people, so please, do not panic. Everything goes blank. The lights immediately go out, and Alchemist is plunged into darkness once more. At the same time, she realizes she can't hear the wind anymore. The fragrance of flowers. Let's go. To trust in a sense of smell. Okay. She slowly heads towards the sweet scent of flowers, when all of a sudden, a brilliant light again. In the very next moment, she finds herself standing in the courtyard. The birds are chirping, the bugs are buzzing, and the wind is blowing through the trees. A vista of tranquility. This is the source of the floral fragrance that Alchemist has smelled. The sound of an engine comes from behind her. Alchemist turns and sees a black sedan parked at the doorway of the garden. Two bodyguards in black quickly exit the vehicle and pass through Alchemist before entering the mansion in front of her. Just then, a middle-aged man slowly disembarks and quietly peers through Alchemist. The bodyguards emerge from the mansion with a girl in tow. She looks tensely at the middle-aged man, wondering if she should speak. This is a necessary sacrifice, my daughter. No sacrifices are ever necessary, father. You are simply tormenting your own daughter for your own personal gains. You will understand me someday, blank. The man waves, and the bodyguards shove the girl into the car. Father, Rudolph, you can't! With a roar of its engine, the car vanishes rapidly into the distance. Everything goes blank. The lights immediately go out, and Alchemist is plunged into darkness once more. Okay, there's two theories that I have currently, because it could be either A... no, actually, that wouldn't make much sense. It really should be M4. Well, technically. Lunasa, to be specific. Head towards the sensation of heat. Yep. Weights are rolling it. Yep. Banishes it. Yep. In the very next moment, she sees a glowing fireplace before her. In the darkness, this light is their only signpost. There's a sofa beside the fireplace, but nobody's sitting on it. Beyond the sofa is a small table with several letters on it. There's a fire poker by the sofa. It's tipped glowing red. Upon close inspection, over a dozen letters are burning in the fireplace. Alchemist approaches the table and tries to pick up one of the few letters that remain on it, but her hand passes right through. She has no choice but to only read the parts that aren't covered up. The Holy Grail Project aims to explore the influence of the relic civilization on humanity itself, Blank in particular. Its director and lead researcher, Professor Blank from Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, was investigated and expelled from the US Relics Agency for academic misconduct. Yeah, it is minor. It 100% is minor. Oh, let me quickly drink something. Very good. I believe she will be of great help to us. Blank is a top-class specialist in relic scientific research, and she will doubtlessly have an extraordinary effect on pushing our plan forward. We should spare no effort in attempting to recruit her. She is currently still in the Neo-Soviet Union, but will return to Germany soon. That will be our chance. The Hella research project is going very poorly. To date, there have been no successful cases. Perhaps I thought too highly of her. She's a lunatic. As Alchemist tries to learn more, everything goes black. The lights immediately go out and... Yep. The wind has stopped blowing, the scent of flowers has vanished, and even the heat has cooled off into nothingness. In the darkness, Alchemist is completely lost and she cannot find the elevator. What a messed up place. Alchemist raises a weapon and revs up her motors, instantly maxing out the strength and mobility outputs. Then she dashes forth and starts tearing wildly at the surroundings. Kaboom. The tremendous destructive force instantly annihilates the room. Her footing vanishes as the punctured floorboards collapse, plunging her downwards. Well, that at least explains where she suddenly came from. We haven't quite yet reached the top, but we're getting closer. Error. I can't hack the door. The security level here is higher than all the doors below combined. Destroyer, what are you doing? Stop. Time to do what I do best. A huge hole erupts in the alloy door leading to the lamps on level 76. As the smoke clears, Destroyer dusts the hands off. Ha! No door can withstand my precise demolition. Your teammates can't withstand it either. There's bound to be some margin of error. Rima leads the way into the lab. Clear. This is... Guys, come take a look at this. That's a display room. Of some sort. This place is incredibly neat and tidy compared to the labs below. Yeah, they totally cleaned this place out. They moved everything out of everything of importance. Time's tight. Let's check it out quickly. Yep. Okay. Boxes and cases. There's a solitary operating console. There are marks on the surface where the other pieces of equipment have been removed. The connector cables are still there and apparently unusable. Cognition and perception exist before the individual experience. Blank can adapt to the external environment. The existence of blank suggests the possibility of collective unconsciousness. Consciousness is not only generated from blank, stimulating blank to reconstruct consciousness. But this method is still flawed, and rejection will likely lead to neurocalcification based on neurons. Using chips, blank and radiation produces blank on nerves. Okay, next up, the thing in the middle, an operating table. An ice-cold operating table, polished to a shine. Judge bent down and carefully searches the area below the table. There's a dried-out piece of blood-soaked tissue, the size of a mung bean stuck in a crevice. Judge carefully tweezes it out and places it on an analyzer. That was pretty professional. Maybe you should call yourself a coroner instead. Even fits, kind of. I might consider that if you'd be my first cadaver. The analysis results are soon available. DNA analysis indicates that this tissue belongs to Angelia. The makeup indicates that the tissue contains small quantities of beta-type anti-inflammatory chemicals, which are primarily used in artificial limb lubricants. Initial analysis suggests that this portion of human tissue came from a left arm. That's not good. I mean, to be fair, we already know that Angie is essentially dead. We're just... The night sky. There are 3 cameras hanging over the operating table at different angles, most likely for recording surgical procedures. The video files have been deleted. I'll try to restore them. I found the remaining snippets. Loading. A shadowless lamp illuminates the operating table, where a person lies under a sterile drape. The operation proceeds smoothly in silence. Then, at the 1 minute 12 seconds mark, the patient's foot jerks. Her leg just moved. The BP and heart rate also rising. I gave her the full dose of the aesthetic you ordered, not 1 drop less. It's not your fault. Interpretive awareness has occurred. Should we increase the dosage? Under the shadowless lamp, the scalpel continues moving under the patient's skin, the sharp blade leaving thin streaks of blood in its wake. No. I thought it'd be quite emotional at this point. As it turns out, I'm not feeling anything at all. Anna, too much time has passed, and all my feelings have gone numb. I hope you'll give me a new surprise. The patient under the sterile drape makes no response, not that she can. Well, I guess she just did an operation on Anna while she's awake. Sort of. Someone has cracked the pass-through window open by a bit, probably just enough to stuff a thin, flat object through it. The area beyond this is visible through the window. There are rows of purification equipment there, but they have all stopped working now. Let's go search the next lab. Judge and Alchemist are about to break the connection, but then... Signal jamming? Oh yes, that sounds like the words of a loser. Last words of a loser. A calm woman's voice speaks over the sound of static. If everything in life is futile, then what is the point in struggling? Fucking Laplace. Go fuck yourself, Meitner. Unknown location, Avernus. A silent path extends a short distance forwards, extending in an empty room which has been scrubbed clean. There are faint traces of a previous battle on the walls on either side. The walls are very clean, and there are signs that they have been whitewashed. Upon close inspection, however, there are fresh scratch marks at the base. Someone's shoes seem to have scuffed them while running. Okay. Several bullets have struck the wall, probably not long ago. Apart from that, the walls are intact and immaculate. But who are we currently watching this through? The door's ID mechanism has been completely formatted, and all data on it's been lost. Even the fingerprints have been scrubbed clean. The only thing left worth investigating is the camera that hangs above the room. One would not expect to find anything there, even if the system can be hacked. But surprisingly enough, someone's left a little surprise behind. There's a surveillance video clip. The security camera zoomed in to fully encompass the lab entrance. Even the conversation behind the door is perfectly audible. Do you have any further orders? There's no response. After the pause, Mordo speaks again. Goodbye, Father. I will faithfully execute your perfect plan. The lab door opens. A woman emerges. She stops in the doorway, then turns around to smile at the person inside the room. Oh yes, Father. The thermostat will be shutting off soon. Please keep yourself warm. She closes the door with a smile. She turns until she is facing the camera. She even raises her head slightly to ensure the camera gets a good look at her. She twirls a strand of hair around her fingers. After taking the time to compose herself, she saunters off. Okay. Weird. A gunshot suddenly rings out and the camera goes dark. However, it's still recording. Hands up, William. Keep your back to us and slowly get down on the floor. A man's voice leisurely answers her. It rings with a timbre that is too bright for an adult man's voice. His voice is youthful, but his tone is mature. I probably shouldn't expect adults to adhere to social etiquette. Let's go then. I've long wanted to meet that commander of yours. Except they're not bringing you to me. I'm missing something somewhere. Am I? I must... What? I am missing something somewhere. Aren't I? I am a little confused. Now I know that one of the maps that I haven't done yet should be the ranking map. Self-portrait here, but the funny thing is I can actually probably get rid of that fairly simply by cheesing it. Cheesing it oh so well. This is truly the most game to ever have games. Yeah. To be fair, I'm just gonna cheese this anyway, at least for this attempt, so I'm just gonna... Boop. Just gonna spawn some stuff. There's more. Interesting. I'm pretty sure that there's some strategy to this thing, but at the same time... There is a thing that you can do on these ranking maps recently that has been very nice for just cheesing the shit out of them. Which is just to start the mission. And then you know what you can do to get the most possible points. It says you can select a battlefield buff at the command post in each turn. Taking a buff will deduct 10,000 points from your score. Echelons can fight consecutive battles. Okay. Can repel the debuff placed on eventual axes and destroy them with plastic explosives. Okay. Yep. It's all fine and good and dandy. Yep. Combat settlement. Yes. I'm getting 0 points, but actually it's going to be significantly more than that. 85,000 points. There we go. But the thing is, I have now done every map. But I'm still missing something. And I am very confused by it. What am I missing? It can't be a difficulty shenanigans thing, because I'd be missing more than 2. What? Hang on. Right, because I've done that on UX. But, like, what? Where are the 2 last maps that I don't have yet? What the fuck? What is going on there? Huh? I am so confused. Is there something I was supposed to do in that level? I can't just skip this part because there is no way to skip specific stuff only. We've seen all of this. Seen that. It's the same dialogue still. Still the same dialogue. Okay. But there's nothing here. What the fuck is happening? That's still the Shadowless Lamb, blah blah. It's Meitner talking to, well, about Angie. They want to continue searching, but... like... Huh? Okay, hang on a minute. Uh... What am I missing? What the hell am I missing? Because I'm definitely missing something, but I just... Is there maybe something to do with ranking? Um... I am so confused. I'm missing 2 maps somewhere. Uh... What the hell is going on? I don't know. I genuinely do not know where I'm missing those 2 maps. So that has a clear, that has a clear, that has a clear. Yeah, this I cleared on UX. Clear, clear. These I've done on normal and EX. Clear, 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 clear. I must have missed something somewhere. Right? Cleared. Yep. Yep. I am very confused right now. Oh, that is all. What the hell? And obviously these are all cleared. I am very confused. Yeah. Important information and stuff. Whatever. I don't know what I'm missing. Like, it also stopped at a very weird point. Am I missing something here? What? Okay. Oh. Hmm. But it doesn't unlock anything new. And I'm still missing 2 maps. I am at a 75 out of 77 progress. And most of the events that I've done before, I don't have full progress on either. I am just... Huh? Right, if I do this map real quick, is that something to do with that? I believe this was one of the ones that were not actually that difficult. Actually, I'm gonna do that off stream. I'm just really confused now. One thing that it might be, is just that these 2 fight maps have technically not been cleared on hard. But at the same time, then it should have a different progression number for normal as well, but it doesn't. I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know. Somebody Kalina is yelling in my ear. Yes, clearly. I do believe I have the unique dolls for this already. But oh well. Quickly check. Sort by acquire. Come on. Yep, I have those. I have that. Yep. That is essentially all of them. There isn't really anything left for me here to do. I am really confused about that thing that it shows me that there's 2 maps I'm missing, but oh well, it is what it is. And I know that this is half an hour earlier than usual. However, I have just finished that event. The rest of it. I don't really know where to continue. Now I could go back in time and, you know, continue the last event, but it will be fine. I think instead I'll just go and raid someone and see what will happen, because I'm still confused. And I don't know. Who is currently streaming? You know what, let's go and say hello to Tetsuy, who's currently playing Yakuza 0. A game that I've played through at the beginning of last year. And I think I'll actually start another Yakuza game soon, maybe, possibly, probably. I totally should, but haven't yet. But yeah, let's go say hello to him, as I'm ending my stream, and I'll be back tomorrow with some Grimnorn, together with San and Reki. As long as that plan is actually working through, because it should, but you never know, right? Anyway, have a good night, thank you very much for being here, and I'm very sorry for ending a little bit early. I'm also pretty damn tired. Bye!